Hey everyone, and welcome to another Star Wars Games update, where we bring you all of the latest and greatest in Star Wars gaming news. So, EA and Respawn came out today with some huge news in regards to the future of Star Wars gaming, as 3 new games have been announced by EA that will all be headed by Respawn Entertainment. Not only will we be getting a second installment to the Jedi series like Fallen Order, but as well a brand new first-person shooter and strategy game to boot, all under the EA banner. Now, how will these new games actually look like and feature? Well, let's just say we've already got a pretty good idea in mind, and you'll no doubt love it. And before we get into any of that, a quick reminder that if you do like these type of videos, then be sure to give it a like to show your support for this update series and the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. We'll start things up with the first announcement, as today, out of nowhere, EA and Respawn dropped big news of their future plans in Star Wars gaming, with the first being official confirmation of the next installment in the Jedi series, which will likely be a prequel or sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this isn't exactly breaking news, as we've been expecting another Jedi game from Respawn for a few years now. Not to mention, we of course also knew that Respawn were working on it for quite some time now, so if you think about it, this is probably one of the worst kept secrets in Star Wars gaming, but regardless. Today's news is basically EA confirming that the game is indeed being worked on. As to date, everything we've heard on the next Jedi game has only been via leaks and rumors. So getting official confirmation is always a good thing. And with rumors of the game's reveal coming on May the 4th, plus a possible release date later this year, then we're no doubt gonna be hearing quite a lot about this one in no time at all. It's no surprise that the main highlight of today's news story has to be the announcement of a brand new Star Wars FPS, made none other than Respawn Entertainment. Now, while this news sounds amazing enough as it is, I mean, come on. A Star Wars FPS made by the same dev studio who created Titanfall 2? Yeah, how could you go wrong here? But funny enough, that's not even the best part here, as this mystery Star Wars FPS will actually be led by Peter Hirschman, who, get this, was an executive producer on the original Star Wars Battlefront games, not the EA ones, but the OGs. Yeah, you see where I'm getting of this? This is what he had to say regarding the announcement. Working with Lucasfilm Games on a new FPS in the Star Wars galaxy is a dream come true for me, as this is a story I have always wanted to tell. Now, knowing Hirschman's history with the original Battlefront games, it will no doubt come to mind for many of us on the possibility of this maybe being Battlefront 3? Slim chance, I know, but still, even if that were the case, it would still make a lot of sense. As after the severely disappointing reception of Battlefield 2042, EA had probably realized how good of a product they had of Battlefront 2. But at the same time, seeing the shambles DICE is currently in, along with them having fired so much of the Battlefront 2 team, then they probably thought it'd be best to start fresh with a whole different but proven dev in the FPS space. Like Respawn, who made the critically acclaimed Titanfall 2. Pair him up with a vet of the original Battlefront games who's eager to craft his own vision of a Star Wars FPS, and this sounds like a match made in heaven. Considering the decline that DICE has been seeing while Respawn is only going up as a studio, then it's no surprise to see just how much faith and confidence EA are now showing in them by giving Respawn all of these games to make. With this one set to be worked on by the same Respawn team that made the VR shooter Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, which in itself got some pretty good to decent reviews. Not to mention, Hirschman also spoke about having a specific story to tell too. Which, in that case, it looks like this game should definitely have a pretty deep single-player campaign as well. And that's something that Respawn without a doubt excels at, especially when compared to DICE. Now, having said all of that, thinking this could be a Battlefront 3 is, again, only just speculation. And if anything, it could easily be a completely new Star Wars shooter franchise, but of course with maybe elements borrowed or inspired from Battlefront. Or heck, maybe even a brand new Republic Commando game for all we know. Either way, it could honestly be anything at this point, and I'm sure we'll all embrace it if it ends up even being on the same level as Battlefront 2 or better. In addition to a new Jedi and Star Wars FPS game, EA as well announced a brand new Star Wars strategy game over at Respawn. However, unlike the other titles, this game won't be developed by Respawn per se themselves. Instead, Respawn will only produce it, while Bit Reactor will be the ones who will take on the actual development of it. And that's where we could get our first hint of what type of strategy game this could turn out to be. As, believe it or not, Bit Reactor are a brand new studio that have been recently formed by the main dev team behind the XCOM series. And seeing as how Bit Reactor's studio head Greg Forge talked about wanting to further innovate the turn-based tactics genre, then I think it's pretty safe to say that this will be a turn-based strategy Star Wars game very similar to XCOM. And honestly, that sounds awesome. Now, sure, while I've been desperately wanting a Star Wars RTS for a long time now, I'm confident we'll eventually get one. And seeing as how I pretty much exclusively played all through XCOM 2 on my first playthrough, all with nothing but Star Wars mods on it, then I'd say this is no doubt great news. And if you played XCOM, especially with Star Wars mods on, then you know what I mean. Because, come on, an XCOM-style game made in mind with built-in Star Wars visuals and elements from scratch straight from the get-go? Then how could you not love this news? Just thinking about all the possibilities this game could have, even more so than XCOM, especially with the innovations that Bit Reactor has in mind for the genre, then what can I say, that's something truly exciting in its own right. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with EA recently, especially with them now actually making more Star Wars games without their exclusivity deal than when they had it. But no matter the reason, we can safely now say that the future of Star Wars gaming truly looks the brightest it's ever been since the Disney takeover. Which, hey, sucks that we had to wait so long, but at least it's finally happening and we're getting a ton of stuff, just like the good old days of LucasArts. And that will do it for this Star Wars Games update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but to keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.